Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We are just a few hours away now from a major ruling on Michigan's 1931 abortion ban. Things got rather testy in the final day of testimony in Oakland County. Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 6. Today's hearing featuring closing arguments and some heated exchanges between one attorney and the judge.
The judge planning to rule tomorrow morning on whether to keep prosecutors from enforcing the state's 1931 ban on abortion. Our Grant Herms was in court all day. Grant, there are such strong feelings on both sides of this issue, and that played out today in front of the judge.
Kimberly, Devin, it certainly did, especially in those closing arguments today. The last push for both sides here to make their case in front of the judge. On one side, you got the governor and the state saying that there is just too much at risk to let this abortion ban effectively go into effect by the judge lifting his hold. The other side saying the governor cannot make that call.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But there are no statements to impeach, Judge. There's no statements involving Sparrow Hospital that's never even come up. What statements are being
Mr.
impeached?
Kelman, are you done?
Yes.
Thank you.
A heated day in Oakland County Court as the judge hears from the final day of witnesses. On one side, the governor and the state, hoping the judge will put a more permanent hold on the state's 91-year-old abortion ban. On the other side, prosecutors from across the state who say they should be able to follow that law.
When you think about whether or not the preliminary injunction should be entered, I have to highlight the significance of these issues to 2 million women in the state of Michigan. It's incredibly important that they not be injured while the court takes the time necessary to consider the issues.
The governor is trying to take away the right of the voice of the people for everybody to weigh in, not just her. It's not preserving the status quo. They've not met their burden, Judge. We ask that you deny the preliminary injunction.
The judge not making any official ruling today, taking the evening to deliberate. And the judge has called the hearing for tomorrow to give his official ruling at 10:30 here at the Oakland County Courthouse in Pontiac. We will be back here inside the courtroom for you to bring you the very latest updates tomorrow at noon and, of course, live on clickondetroit.com. Back to you.
Grant, what about the challenges to the ballot initiative on abortion, especially after the controversy we saw this week?
Well, the deadline for that was today at 5 o'clock, and one of those anti-abortion groups filed a 152-page challenge saying that they found more than 60 errors in that initiative. The Board of Elections now has to look at that challenge. They have until August 26th to make a ruling on that challenge and the more than 750,000 signatures, so we'll have to wait until the end of the month to find out what they decide. Back to you.
Okay, we'll continue to follow it. Grant, thanks.
A disturbing case of child pornography in Metro Detroit. A man is in custody for allegedly using the game Truth or Dare to trick children into sending nude photos and videos through Snapchat. Investigation began when a mother in Phoenix, Arizona saw something disturbing on her daughter's phone. She called police. The trail of evidence led agents to a home in Garden City. Megan Woods live with more on what investigators found. Megan.
Yeah, Devin, that Garden City man is 19-year-old Gerald Currow III. He's facing child porn charges in federal court. Now, documents reveal disturbing conversations over Snapchat, but it also states that Currow admits to receiving nude photos and threatening 27 minors in the last several months. This is video of investigators swarming to a Garden City home on what neighbors say is Tuesday, August 16th, around 6:30 in the morning. Court documents filed by a federal agent reveals the investigation started at the end of June in Phoenix, Arizona. A 9-year-old girl admitted to her mother and police that she sent nude photos of herself to people she met on an app called Wink. Her account was linked to a Snapchat account. She told users she was 13. A Snapchat user she knew as Jerry threatened her, saying if she didn't take nude photos of her 6-year-old sister, he would post that 9-year-old's explicit photos. That 9-year-old did as he demanded. The document also reveals Snapchat conversations on July 1st linked to the same user known as Jerry. The user threatens another minor, saying that if they don't record a video of them performing oral sex on one of the victim's brothers, he would post their nude photos. The IP address of that user led investigators to this Garden City home. A relative did answer the door but didn't want to go on camera. They say their family is still sorting through the details. But investigators say that account belonged to Gerald Currow III. Neighbors are shocked and disgusted by the allegations.
Oh, it's a little scary because I see him walking down. I just saw him.
And he is charged, he is in custody, and he's back in court on Monday to see if he will be released on bail. Back to you.
Yeah. All right, Megan.
There's new information on the next wave of updated COVID booster shots that will also vaccinate against Omicron. The White House COVID coordinator said today the new shots should be available in a few short weeks and that all teens and adults will be eligible. Currently, a second COVID booster is available only to people over the age of 50 and those who are immunocompromised. The new boosters will target the original COVID-19 strain plus the two Omicron subvariants, BA4 and BA5, the latter of which accounts for 90% of new COVID cases in the U.S.
We've been watching a few things developing on radar here after what's been a lovely day.
Really been nice. Let's get over to Kim Adams with the latest, Kim.
Well, we have something called a lake breeze that is just creating a bit of instability, enough to where we've seen a couple of showers and even an embedded thunderstorm, nothing severe, pop up on Exact Track radar. I'll show you exactly what I mean. One cell just moved off over into Ontario, but the one I was watching, which just came down into Oxford and Lake Orion, this one's losing its punch a little bit, but it did have some lightning in it, and you will get some heavy downpours. The other one that I'm tracking is a little bit further down to our south and west over by the airport, Belleville, right along I-94 as you head just outside the airport, getting a downpour now as well. But most of Metro Detroit is dry, and we're going to stay that way. Once we lose that heating, we're done with this. So most places stay dry and we get cool by midnight tonight, down to 70 if you can call that cool. But the humidity makes a big return for the weekend. I'll have your forecast coming up. Oh, and you can also, the best way to track these storms as well is on our Forewarn Weather app. Download that app and you can tell exactly when the rain gets to your neighborhood. It's a great thing to have.
Thank you. Work continues in Fort Gratiot Township to prepare for the arrival of a new section of pipe needed to fix that broken water main.
As the boil water advisory remains in effect for about 133,000 people, repairs not expected to be completed until Labor Day weekend, so people need bottled water. And today, Help Me Hank has been trying to put a dent in that demand.
Hank Winchester joins us live from Shelby Township, where some people might have a surprise waiting for them if they haven't been home for a few hours. Hank?
Yeah, Kimberly, Devin, this has really been a fantastic day, and Kroger has really stepped up helping us out. This is all about, as you mentioned, making sure that everybody has access to good, clean, safe, and in this case, free water. All right, let's go. Thank you, Kroger. 30,000 bottles of water donated so the Help Me Hank team can do this today. How you doing?
All right.
You want some water? You need some water? I'm focused on parts of Macomb County, those under the boil water advisory. Finding bottled water, it's been a big challenge for some people.
Easier than me grabbing it. This will give us a little bit of a break.
Well, good. Yeah. I'm glad we could help out, okay?
We appreciate it.
All right, have a good day. We have been busy loading up news vans, Kroger trucks, even golf carts. And we've been rolling all over the area today. When I put the call into Kroger, the team jumped at the chance to help, and we love that.
We put this together last minute, but that's just a shout out to our Kroger delivery team, our logistics teams for making all this come together.
We loaded up this news truck. That'll do it. So my colleague, Tim Pamplin, the night cam, could make a stop at a nursing home in Washington Township. Tim?
Well, Hank, we spent the afternoon up in northern Macomb County. Truck loaded up. First stop, the Vista Springs Assisted Living Facility. They were shocked and very, very appreciative.
All that?
Then we headed a little further north. We've got the Bruce Romeo firefighters on hand helping us unload these Kroger trucks. These water deliveries are game changers. Been a busy day up in Macomb County. Back to you, Hank.
Thank you, Night Cam. The state and the county, they've also stepped up offering bottled water, but it's hard for some to find. So today was a great opportunity to see this problem firsthand, help our neighbors, and work together. Back out here live, and I'm sure some of you out there are still saying, hey, I need some bottled water too. Well, the great thing is if you head to clickondetroit.com, we have an entire resource page there, information about where bottled water is available and free right now throughout parts of Macomb and Oakland County. We're live here tonight in Shelby Township. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank, Local 4.
What a great thing to do for the community. Hank, we appreciate it.
Prosecutors have rested their case in the retrial for 2 men charged with plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Today's testimony focused on explosives. An FBI agent who worked undercover told jurors the men talked about destroying 2 bridges, one in the Elk Rapids area and one near the governor's vacation home. The FBI agent known as Red says the goal was to slow down the law enforcement response. Adam Fox and Barry Croft are the ones on trial for a second time on conspiracy charges. The defense now takes over with closing arguments happening perhaps as soon as tomorrow. We are on top of it, and we'll have an update.
Still ahead, a warning about a scam hitting local mailboxes. See why some people are being frightened into thinking they might lose their home.
Also coming up, ramping up the fight against monkeypox. The strategy from the White House to get the vaccine to people who are at greatest risk. And we'll have that next.